Drive on Lugnutz.
Here we go.
Nothing left to do but to crank over those engines, Gearheads, because 'tis none other than us. The Lugnutz Podcast, don't you know?
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for listening. Recorded 22 July 2024. 10 Ford Raptors. Panamera. Kia K4. Land Cruiser. Tiguan. That and more on this week's Lugnutz. Thank you for joining us.
Enjoy the show. Drive on Lugnutz.
Of course, as always, we want you to drive on over here. Facebook.com/Lugnutz Podcast, don't you know? That's where you're going to find all of our luggy and nutty polished content coming right to you as soon as I edit it. A lot like the speediness of this first story.
10 Ford Raptors were stolen off the assembly line. Well, shortly after they were assembled. Not
That's what
off
you
the
get for
line.
leaving the keys in the car, man. That's what you get.
Would you
for
believe that is where they found them? 10 high-performance Ford Raptor pickup trucks were stolen shortly after assembly, each valued before dealer markup at $100,000 each. So I'm saying this has got to be $1 million worth of cars.
Dude, where's Nick Cage? This
mean,
is
if you
straight out of
count-
Gone out of 60 Seconds if it were made today.
If you count for all the markup, that's $1 million right there, right?
You know what? I'm going to edit this out because we have a new movie idea because it's going to be two Lugnuts doing a Gone in 60 Seconds, but we rob 10 brand new cars off the lineup, $100,000 cars, and then ship them off to overseas. That's a good remake of a plot, right?
That sounds like a Nicholas.
We can get Nicolas Cage.
like-
He probably has the IRS to pay off. I mean, we're not going to get him now that I made that joke.
No, I don't think he's going to be interested in your shitty movie now. No. I think he's got better things to suddenly do. He's going to go live in his 5 castles and drive his 45 different super sport bikes that he's acquired from his long and successful career in acting
interested in that Lugnutz
or whatever else he does. But back to Ford. Remember Ford?
Oh,
Hi,
those guys,
thanks for
yeah.
coming back. They found one on I-75 as it ran out of gas.
They only keep like 2 gallons of gas in that bitch. So you do, if you are going to steal something off the factory, like you got a gallon, bro. You have whatever that MSRP says your miles per gallon is. That's how far your escape should be.
Ford says they're insured, so it's just going to cost you a bit more. I might have paraphrased a lot there.
Well, a little bit, but you know what? It's still the same message.
Because insurance is regional. Luckily, they don't make Ford Raptors in this region, so let's go see what GM's doing.
No giggity.
Well, I bet these weren't stolen because there were none. GM, apparently the Escalade Series 5 performance model is very popular, so they're going to make more.
Good.
They're going to up the production because they're. I pulled out some of the things it has. Go down below. Look at this digital 55-inch pillar-to-pillar display.
Wow.
People want this, so they're going to make more of it.
Absolutely.
That's something. Look at that. That's amazing.
That's what you should be leaning into with these LED. It's going to be expensive. Might as well go for broke. Make the whole dashboard a screen because who's not going to want to touch your dashboard?
Well, it includes a passenger-only screen and an exclusive package. Gets second row, power doors, 24-inch wheels, and other enhancements.
The passenger-only screen is something that later on adds steam. You know, Netflix. That's something for your passenger. You know, I mean,
that would be cool. And
it would be distracting. Be like, hang on, what level are you on? Huh? Oh, bam, crash. But it's a good idea.
That's probably why they don't do that.
Yeah.
It has 6.2-liter V8 engine. It's supercharged V-Series performance with 682 horsepower and 653 torques. Price ranges from about 80-ish thousand to 150 or more, because I know there's other back-end companies that will armor plate the shit out of stuff.
Giggity.
So maybe they'll do one of these. Or maybe they already do. Or maybe you might want to check our next story. This looker, I'm going to say it off the bat. I think this is an ugly car.
Yeah. It's a completely ugly car. It's horrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's a Kia. No sponsorships from them.
Just looking at the
It's
back
just
end, I could tell that was a Kia.
Really ugly. Did someone design the front end and someone else design the back end? Because
it's
the back
Kia.
end, it's just...
They do nothing but ugly cars.
Ugh.
I've never been happy with a Kia, besides my Sportage.
You know,
Even
when the
then,
Soul
I knew
first
it
came
was
out,
ugly.
I'll give him this. When the Soul first came out, I was like, wow, that's a different vehicle. I don't want it. But
Exactly.
someone will find
it's
that
still
one
right
good looking.
along the lines of Kia. You don't want it, but
This one, it's got like Notre Dame, like buttresses here. Look at this Notre Dame.
I
like,
wouldn't even want
it's
to
this
tie
big,
Notre Dame to that.
giant. Oof. Well, this is gonna replace the new Kia Rio subcompact. So maybe in real life it doesn't look as bad.
Nah, it's gonna look bad. Yeah, 100%. But you know, I mean, I saw a Cybertruck in person a couple times recently, and it still looks butt-ass ugly.
It's not a very good looking truck. I mean, it's very fashionable.
I
but,
can't
like,
wait until I probably won't see him in the winter because it's a Cybertruck. You know, I mean,
Yeah, he's going to be somewhere. He's going to be charging. A
Or-
lot of charging.
or driving something else.
Oh, well, anyway, back as it might be better in person. It's going to be made in Mexico. It's the new K4. It's called the K4. So K4, you decide on this. Maybe you want to decide on something better looking.
I don't know what was worse.
Think
that
hey,
joke
maybe
or
give
this car.
Mazda a call. They're great looking vehicles. If I might be somewhat biased.
Jesus.
They have 5 trim levels: XL, XLS, GT Line Turbo, and EX,
So it's probably
which
a
comes
heavy car.
in a green slate interior.
So it's like it's a heavy, full-size sedan
Mm-hmm.
that comes with like a 4-cylinder, and then in the top echelon,
Wait,
they'll
but
add a turbo.
It has 8 color choices and 5 wheel choices.
Yeah, you're gonna like the color choices because you're sitting in traffic and not able to get out of your own way.
With the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine,
Who
with
was
a
right?
CVT,
Oh,
and 174 horsepowers, and they managed to get it up to 132 torques.
sorry, my skin started crawling. You said that magic word of CVT.
Yeah, so one day it's just boop, broke. Nope,
Snap.
your whole car's dead. We
Don't-
can't replace it.
I've said this
Say
in a
goodbye.
in a past podcast with CVT transmissions, but do not trust those cheap places you go to take your car for a cheap oil change, and they say, "Nah, your transmission fluid change is only going to be $100." If you have a CVT transmission, that is not possible. You're about to blow everything that you love, that horrible CVT
Don't
transmission,
let 'em-
to the sky. If it's not like $400, they're lying to you.
Well, it has a 12.3-inch display, unless you
Yeah.
get the lower models, which you only get a 7-inch or an 8-inch if you're the XLS. It can hold a 32-ounce beverage container. Great, I guess.
Button was a little sticky.
Starting at $21,145.
Okay. I mean, you know.
You know, there's not always roses, like there's not roses in this next story.
Jinx.
Welcome back. Hyundai has a recall for about 54,000-ish vehicles. Loss of power from fuel pump failure. 19 to 23 models, Genesis G70, Veloster N, Elantra N, Kona N. National Highway Traffic Safety says the fuel control valve in the high-pressure fuel pump.
Yeah, anything with the fuel pump, that's, rather sensitive because it can cut out on you at any time, whether you're on a highway and you have an 18-wheeler behind you or...
He doesn't slow down very quickly.
No.
Jackknifing.
He doesn't. That's the other terrifying thing about that, lane collision systems with the radar when they're misaligned and they just catch a sign over the highway and immediately start braking. You will die.
My
Not to scare you too much.
So if there's someone in the far right lane, but they're up far enough, the car's like, whoa!
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing over there?
I am totally scared.
I'm like, I
gotta understand.
That's all right. There's a human here. You don't have to do it yourself.
It's okay.
Just like there's a human here.
Who knew you were going to have to console the computer systems in your car? Like, hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
I want to
I
go
know
to
how
the left
drive
lane.
this close to the line. If I move over a little bit, there's a lot of potholes. This is Pennsylvania. But you could handle Pennsylvania potholes with this next story. Picture Perfect Small Towns. Get it on Amazon today. Welcome back. Up here is the 2024 Land Cruiser. Car and Driver had a thing on it. 57345, based on the 1958 model. For a limited edition run for $76K.
Okay.
So they got a look. It's got extra. I think there's extra photos somewhere. I remember seeing extra low-cut windows.
Okay.
12.3-inch display. Wheel articulation in the first edition. Electronically disconnectable. Front
Right here.
anti-roll bar.
I could fit my entire mouse right in there. See?
Yeah,
It's right there.
right there. Lockable center rear differential. This is a real off-roader.
Yeah. Well, the Land
It's kinda
Cruiser,
rock crawling.
I also like how it is styled. It's always been this kind of a car. You know what I mean? It hasn't been beautiful. It's been boxy, but useful because if you're going out on these climbs,
It's not about the look. It's
Yeah.
about all it can do. Like, unlocked the center differential in low range.
and that's how you're going to get that off-terrain ability in there that they want the Land Cruiser to have.
I don't think they have a picture, but there's a camera trail system where you can see, like, so you don't
Yeah. Smacking
smash
this
a
stuff.
rock
Oh,
or
that's cool.
something.
Might as well use these cameras for something useful.
They got Toyota's iForce Max Turbo 2.4 liter 4 with a perky AC motor.
Perky.
An 8-speed automatic.
It says perky in the copy too. That's not. I mean,
Perky. I liked
perky?
it when he had it in the article, so I kept perky.
Perky is an odd thing. I mean, yeah, it does describe
A 4.
it describes an AC motor. Okay, it is perky. Electric motors are perky.
Okay.
It's a common thing. It's just the only time I've heard that.
278 horsepower, 317 foot-pounds of torque, to 326 horsepower and 456 torques.
All screwed in there.
All screwed in there.
Wow.
0 to 60, 7.7. It's not going to get you anywhere fast, but
No.
you got it to go over big rocks and off-roading.
That's what it's for. It's not
the
for
Outback.
fast. It's for versatility. And,
It's
general, I need to get there.
It's not for school lunch runs.
No.
Like,
Well, people will use it for that.
yes, you'll use it for that. It's
But I saw a spec, and it was about like 18% of truck owners. Well, not 18% of them, but 18% of the time, truck owners are actually using their truck for being a truck. They're doing towing, hauling something in the back, or going off-roading. It's only 18% of the time.
that's why you get it, but so you can, but
The other massive majority of that spec, you're driving down the road just like me.
Yeah. I get it. So when we get the 2 inches of snow, I can go out. I've had a car and I've driven in 2 inches of snow my whole life, and I've never had
I was about to say, how did that all-wheel drive do those people in Texas a couple years ago when they got like a couple inches?
If you don't know how to drive in the snow, it's not like regular driving. What did Dad say? Leave a little extra room.
Yeah, but it's not actually like even rain. There's a lot more slip.
It's way different.
It's like rain, but like colder.
Like at 6, 7 inches, then maybe a truck is useful. 8 inches.
Yeah.
We're going to need a truck to get somewhere, but
That's it. You're not, yeah. Most of the time, just grab the Corolla.
yeah. Or you could grab this next story, but only if you are the one. So this is a 2010 Dodge Viper SRT 10 ARC, one of 33 special edition for sale.
Yeah.
Launched in 2008, a track car for the street. It's a race car.
Yeah.
This is number 5 of only 33 produced. A special tribute to Viper's remarkable track record. Black and red top, driver's seat stripes, 8.4 liter, 510 cubic inch V10 engine delivering 600 horsepower and 560 foot-pounds of torques.
I'd like you to say it slower, but that's fine. But this is a very, very sexy car.
It's got a lot of performance upgrades.
Yeah.
Headers are improved with exhaust enhanced performance, Arrow PMC, turn indicator. Got to change those turn indicators. Black side winder wheels.
The wheels do look nice, though. I like those.
Embroidered floor mats. All right, you need the embroidered floor mats.
If you're spending that money, why not?
Yeah, I got.
How much does it cost to the
some
car?
embroidered floor mats.
You know
as
what I mean?
I mean, it's got.
If I'm buying this,
and customer preferred package, 21B.
oh, not 21A.
2 pieces. Competition group with 2 pieces of lightweight spotted rotors, front splitter, rear wing, spoiler, arc badge, front end stabilizer, high performance tires, Michelin's, front 18, rear
Oh, ACR badge, not
19.
ARC. ARC is ARC.
whatever.
Yeah.
Aerodynamic enhancements and a vast ton of other.
That is a very big wing on the back of that.
It's a very.
And it needs it.
It does, or it won't be around. It's gonna like Mask, except not so successfully as a cartoon. Don't you can't just open the doors. Look, I'm flying. You need it'd be like, look, thump, I'm dead.
I love that 90s Mask reference.
I don't know. Every time I see a car
It was
like
the
that,
cartoon, too. Not even the movie. That was the expert cartoon.
yeah, it was great. It's a car show. This is a car show. I make car.
Even cartoon cars
Yeah,
make it into
even
the show.
cartoon cars. Sure.
We talked about the Echo one.
Yes,
It's fine.
it's in that lunatic state of California, which the whole country might go mad in a bit. But before
Not
that
now.
happens, you're going to want to grab this next story. This is it. No,
Looks like every other
No.
Volkswagen SUV.
this is it. This is the last Touareg.
Oh. They finally cut it, huh?
Launched in-
Jesus.
Launched 2024, and this is the last Touareg. 2024 edition is what we're looking at. 4 colors: blue, black, platinum, gray, and white.
When I was selling Volkswagens,
Mhm.
people would buy Jettas.
Mhm.
They'd buy, they'd buy everything besides the Tiguan.
I do see
They'd buy the Touareg. They
I see a
wouldn't.
few out there, but
Not a lot, though.
if you see a Volkswagen, it's going to be a Golf. It's
A
gonna
Golf,
be
a Jetta. Yeah.
Because that's why I'm going to you.
Very few SUV sales from Volkswagen.
Yeah. Well, this SUV is the Wolfsburg edition, which has silver mirror caps, chrome door bits, bumper inserts, and bumper dillo, chrome
We'll leave it at that.
bumperdillo.
There's a joke there. We can just let the audience find.
Turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Kind of always leaves a bad taste in my mouth when you say SUV. 184 horsepower. Holy shit, my car's got more than that.
I can only complain about a 4-cylinder
221
engine.
foot-pounds of torque. You could maybe get somewhere at $30,000-ish dollars.
If you have nowhere to be, and I can only complain about a 4-cylinder engine SUV so much in a podcast. Actually, no. The last time I complained was a full-size sedan this podcast, so this is completely acceptable. Yet, no 4-cylinder engines if you have a heavy car.
It's going to be very. You're not gonna autobahn this one. You know what I'm saying?
I got the Wolfsburg edition. Why? It's got extra chrome.
If you could afford the Wolfsburg edition, you might want to consider this next story. Here it is. The Panamera. From the right angle, it almost looks like a regular Porsche, except for the extra door handles. I'll admit, when you could have got this, you could have bought a Maserati.
Yeah.
You could have bought a Maserati. Every time I look at one, I just think, you could have bought a Maserati.
Yeah.
You could have bought a Maserati. But
They wanted to pay for
This-
Porsche maintenance?
this one is the Panamera GTS, stripped down version, down to the basics. 493 horsepower from a V8 Turbo S pack gets 771. Wow, that's a lot of horsepower.
But, I also want to say is that, why wouldn't you want a Porsche? Because, you're not going to find me if this book, Picture Perfect Small Towns, York and Media PA, if this becomes a New York Times bestseller, you're not going to find me driving a Maserati. I'll probably drive a Porsche.
Is it available on Amazon now?
It is. You can buy it now.
Good. 6 variants are available. I said the horsepower, that's boring. Base gets 348. E-Hybrid gets 463. GTS gets 493. SE Hybrid, 536. Turbo E Hybrid, 670. Turbo SE Hybrid, 771. It also went around the Nürburgring.
Oh.
It only did a 724.17. So to kind of like no one's going to know what that means. The Maserati did it in 724.29 in 2008. The Mercedes AMG GT 63S set the time of 727.80 in 2020.
Okay, so Maserati still has that high benchmark there.
Yeah. A little bit. But
So once again, you could just buy a Maserati.
You could.
It's just, that's
Instead
the
of
lesson.
this, maybe get an MC12. And hey, it looks better. Or
And
I'll
it
even
doesn't
say the Mercedes AMG, that's a pretty good looking car for a bowling pin company.
And they don't look exactly like every single car the company has.
Yeah.
Like Porsche.
Well, some people like that, and other people like to go to our face pages, internet things.
We want you to hop on over here. Facebook.com/Lugnutz Podcast. That's where you're going to find all of our Luggy and Nutty content coming to you ever so slightly behind, as well as all of our content over at PJAndDWH.com. That's where you're going to find a lot of goodness and craziness like my new book, Picture Perfect Place, Picture Perfect Towns, Picture Perfect Small Towns, if I could remember my own book. York and Media PA. Doodle's excited. You should be excited. Available now on Amazon. We have a lot more stuff coming to you, like maybe even Lugnutz Special in the future.
Coming soon, if everything goes well.
Exactly. So a lot of stuff to focus on, a lot of reasons why you should stay tuned right here onto our network, the Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network, because it doesn't matter if you drive a Maserati or a Porsche, because nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang. Until then, drive on!
It does matter if you drive an Audi A5, because if you get a new one, you get a new red graphic.
Oh.
That's why it's an honorable mention.
The red graphic, you know.
Ooh. It's just
Come
a little
on.
red. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, but it's special
Great.
to you. Special to you.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. The band agrees with me.
Yeah.
Perfect timing aside, we want to see you guys next time because nothing rolls without Lugnutz. Bye-bye, gang. Drive on!
Drive on Lugnutz.
You know what these wall dringers need?
Yeah. What do they need?
They need to go on Amazon right now where they can find my book, Picture Perfect Small Towns, York and Media, PA. Don't mind the green because the green screen, there's no hole in the book, I swear. But Picture Perfect Small Towns.
Got parched trees.
You will find that on Amazon, where you will find a bunch of amazing pictures from small towns, from the small towns of York and Media, PA. So go over to Amazon.com right now to where you can get your copy and then meet me at a local signing / book stuff near you.
Right, this one really dragged on. You might want to go with the other one.
I'll go with the other one.
You should go with the other one. It's better. It was short.
Little bit.
It was sweet. You had it behind you.
Yeah.
That one was, go with that one.
I'll go with the first one. But we also want you to go with hitting that subscribe button, liking, commenting below. Right above my head's going to be the very best Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers video for you. Right above Big Brother's head, that's going to be every single Lugnutz podcast in a playlist. Over 170 of them, gang. It's been a long time. But we want you to drive on, boys and girls. Bye-bye.
Drive on Lugnutz.